We're diving into why you might not be seeing results from your training. If you feel like you're putting in the effort but progress is slow, you're likely making some of these 7 common mistakes. With 8 years of coaching bodyweight athletes in sports such as gymnastics, parkour, and ninja warrior, we've seen the same mistakes time and time again. So stick around as we break these down and provide solutions to get you back on track. Are you setting yourself up for failure in your training? One of the most common reasons I've seen people not seeing results is because they haven't clearly defined their goals. It's easy to start working out with a vague idea like, I want to get stronger, or I want to try this sport. While these are great intentions, vague goals often lead to a lack of motivation down the line. To stay focused, it's important to get more specific with goals like, I want to do 10 pull-ups, or I want to land a backflip. Hack your brain with short-term goals. Research shows that frequent positive feedback boosts motivation more than one big reward. That's why short-term wins, like improving your handstand by a few seconds, are just as important as larger milestones. A goal each workout, such as a new personal record or completing an extra set. Aim for long-term goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, smart. If your goal is to achieve 5 strict pull-ups in 3 months, you'll have a clear target and a timeline to guide your progress. I remember when I first started coaching Ninja Warrior, athletes would tell me their goal was to get better. But when I asked, better at what? They weren't sure. That's because it was a new sport for us at the time, so they only had the TV show as a guide. Once we started defining their goals in detail, their progress skyrocketed. Now that you have set your goals, it's time to make sure your form is dialed in, because even with the best goals, poor form can hold you back. So you can do a push-up, that's great, but what now? Do you jump straight into flying Superman push-ups or stick with the basics? In weight training, it's simple. Add more weight. But with bodyweight skills, it's a little harder. In bodyweight training, knowing many versions of exercises is key. Sure, you can add more reps and you can increase the intensity in other ways by adjusting the difficulty of the exercises, like moving from knee push-ups to full push-ups, shortening rest times, or changing the speed of the reps. But progression depends on your goal. If your goal is pure strength, then shortening your rest times might not be the best approach. Once you've mastered full push-ups, try progressing to diamond push-ups or feet elevated push-ups. If you're unsure about how to progress, don't worry, we've got you covered. In our free program, linked in the description, you'll find a full list of bodyweight moves for every stage of progression within the program. No matter your current level, there's always a way to level up. I remember when I first started bodyweight training, I only did 3 exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. They are amazing, but that's the only thing I did. I did too many squats to get real results and not enough pull-ups to progress. It wasn't until I changed those exercises to progressions with one-legged squats and negative pull-ups that my progress skyrocketed. The real question is, do you even enjoy training? Fitness is an infinite game, which means the only way to lose is if you stop playing. If you don't enjoy the journey, the destination better be amazing, right? But here's the thing. Fitness doesn't have a final destination. There's no endpoint where you're suddenly done. That's why it's crucial to find enjoyment in the process itself. For me, that's why I've always loved training and coaching bodyweight skills like Ninja Warrior and Parkour, along with our online programs. Whether it's learning a handstand, muscle up, or animal movements, skill mastery is the next level of bodyweight fitness, and it's fun. Skills challenge you to use strength, coordination, flexibility, and balance, turning your body into a finely tuned machine. What sets skill training apart from standard strength training is that you're not just focusing on muscle growth, you're learning to control your body in space. Skills give you a sense of accomplishment and keep you committed because there's always something new to learn or improve. And if you're not sure where to start, we provide clear progressions in our free program to help you master the basics and move up from there. When I first started training in parkour, it was hard to get me to stop. I was so hooked that I trained as often as I could without even thinking about it. I was out there jumping, vaulting, and climbing any chance I got. Fatigue wasn't a problem. It became a reward. The more exhausted I was, the more I felt like I had accomplished something. That's what skill training does. It makes the journey enjoyable, and you push yourself simply because you love it. If you want to get more results, start doing less. Having to go hard for hours or grind through endless sets to see results isn't true. Being efficient with your training is often more effective. I've learned that the key is doing the right things. For example, when we were working on backflips in parkour, we quickly found out that we didn't need 10 stations or drills to master it. We only needed 3. A jumping station to perfect the set, a rolling station to understand the tuck, and then either a box at the right height or a spotter to piece it all together. For side flips, it was even easier. Just one box above waist height, and you're good to go. The same goes for strength training. Sessions don't always need to last an hour or more. A 30-minute session can be just as effective if you're hitting the right areas. A general rule of thumb: focus on hitting all major muscle groups for about 15 sets per week. If you can do that efficiently, you're in a good place. Of course, this varies depending on your goal. If you're training for movement like parkour or ninja warrior, the focus shifts more towards skill practice and less on aesthetics. For muscle growth, you would have more sets and a different rest cycle. The bottom line is that more volume doesn't necessarily equal more results. I learned the importance of recovery the hard way. When I first started training in parkour, I made the mistake of adding strength training without giving my body the rest it needed, and I ended up getting injured. You'd think I'd have learned my lesson, but when I was training for Ninja Warrior competitions, I kept pushing my arms through skill training and strength work without proper recovery, and almost gave myself a tennis elbow. The key is to rest efficiently so you can keep playing the infinite game. Just give up on training. If hearing that made you feel like maybe you should, then there's a motivation issue at play. Remember, the only way to lose the game of fitness is to stop playing. It's easy to get discouraged when results don't come as quickly as you'd like, but one of the biggest mistakes you can make is giving up too early. Fitness is a long-term journey, and progress often comes in small steps. Small improvements add up over time, and their cumulative effect will surprise you. We've already talked about the importance of using easier versions and progressions for bodyweight moves. It's crucial to find the right level for your current progress. Small victories matter more than one big win. Did you manage one more pull-up today? Did your form improve even slightly? These are all wins. Celebrate these milestones because they're proof that you're moving in the right direction. Setbacks are part of the process too. Everyone has tough days, but quitting guarantees zero progress. As long as you keep showing up and pushing forward, you'll always be moving toward your goal, even if the pace is slower than you'd like. I've had plenty of times in my training where I felt like throwing in the towel, especially when progress seemed slow or non-existent. Most of the time, I did not know where I was going. When my goals were more clear and pushed through, I came out stronger on the other side. It's that resilience and commitment that makes the real difference in fitness. You can't reach your full potential. When it comes to mastering any sport or skill, a lack of direction usually comes from a lack of knowledge. For example, imagine trying to become an Olympic gymnast without a coach or mentor to guide you. It's nearly impossible. While most of us aren't aiming for the Olympics, the same concept applies to sports like parkour or ninja warrior. Parkour often seems like a self-taught discipline because of its freestyle nature, but in reality, it thrives on community learning. The internet culture around parkour is incredibly connected and supportive, with countless tutorials and in-person groups offering knowledge and tips. It's a bit like those martial artists in TV shows who travel the land learning from different masters. Even though their journeys may seem solo, they're never truly alone. Finding a source of knowledge and communication is key to having a sense of direction in your training. The truth is that having a coach, a community, or even a mentor to provide feedback and guidance can make the path clearer and shorten the time it takes to reach your goals. When I first started training for Ninja Warrior, there was hardly any guidance. It was so new that there wasn't a local community or coach to learn from. The only thing I had to rely on was what I saw on TV. I know exactly what a long road of trial and error looks like, and that's why having a sense of direction is so important in speeding up your progress. In bodyweight skill training, do you have the curse of the beginner or the burden of the expert? The curse of the beginner is that progress feels fast and rewarding. When you start, everything is fresh. It feels like everything is possible, but then you hit a wall. This wall can feel like you're stuck forever. What worked before no longer brings progress. Take handstands, for example. You might quickly learn how to balance on your hands, but holding a freestanding handstand for even 1 second feels impossible. However, once you break through, progress becomes exponential. That 1 second hold soon turns into 3 seconds, then 10. The burden of the expert is just as real. When you reach advanced levels, progress slows down again. Moving from 97% to 99% might take the same time and effort it took to go from 1% to 90%. By that point, you have so many other skills you can learn quickly, but perfecting the one you're working on takes more and more time. It becomes a choice. Do you focus on that one skill or enjoy the broader experience of learning multiple skills? Neither is wrong, but knowing where you stand will help you stay motivated and keep your training enjoyable. Fitness is a journey, and the only way to lose is to stop playing the game. Whether it's setting clear goals, finding the right progressions, mastering new skills, or staying consistent when the road gets tough, each step you take brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. The truth is that no one achieves mastery alone. From parkour to Ninja Warrior, having the right direction, community, and accountability can make all the difference. If you're feeling stuck, need guidance, or want to push your skills to the next level, check out the free resources we have available at Awesome Ninja Fitness. You'll find detailed progressions, expert coaching tips, and an incredible community to support your journey. Don't just wait for results, go out there and make them happen. And remember, consistency and patience are the keys that unlock success. Stay awesome.